Morning, all. Tom Cofer with OnPoint Consulting. Just thought I would share some thoughts around a topic. For those of you that are considering changing construction software, why most projects around new construction software or optimizing construction software either outright fail or fail to meet management expectations. Just a little bit about me. I've been in the construction industry for 40 plus years, helping construction companies improve or replace their existing software, mostly focused on back office, project operations, field service operations, and those particular areas. As I talk with more and more companies today that are considering change, and many of you are, there's some common items that come up that I would say are either missteps or mistakes that we all tend to make when considering these types of construction technology changes. So here are a few reasons why. I'm just going to kind of bullet those out for you, kind of give you my top 10 list, and then in future posts I'll come back and go into more detail for you. So here we go. First one is a big one, and that is the business impacts are not clearly identified. What is company management and team leaders expecting out of a software optimization or an outright replacement? Those tend not to be very well identified. Another one is starting what I call a vendor parade, which is really a process of going out to the web, looking at software companies, talking to your friends, and then starting to look at software without clear goals identified in terms of what your company needs. The third one is key business processes have not been identified and documented, and business processes don't really have anything to do with software and technology, but then again, they have everything to do with it. So having those clearly identified and documented is something that we'll talk about. There tends not to be a very clear project plan created, not only for software selection, but even more importantly, after you select a vendor, is there a plan in place with that vendor or their outside consulting firm to successfully implement the software and make sure that your business impacts and overall corporate goals are met during this process. Another is there tends not to be accountability or responsibility for all team members. Everybody doesn't really know where they fit in the implementation or optimization of new software. So we all like to know what our individual plan is, and that's something that we can all work on as we go through these projects. Another good one that goes hand in hand with that would be that we haven't identified a project manager for this construction technology project. And I've always said that implementing construction software is no different than building a building for many of our customers. If you don't have a good project manager, or the project manager's goals aren't clearly defined and there isn't a good project plan, then you're not going to have a successful technology project as a rule. Another big one is not enough time being allocated for a successful and thorough implementation and testing process of your software once it's configured. If you don't allow enough time to do end-to-end testing, then you tend to have a rushed implementation or an incomplete implementation that again does not meet expectations. Another one, ninth one, your company hasn't completed a thorough review of your existing software to determine if you really need to replace your software, and a lot of people are looking at that today. A lot of older technology out there that needs to be replaced and updated, moved to the cloud. But you need to have a clear understanding of the software you have. How does it meet expectations today, in the future? What are the gaps and risks, and how do we address those things before we do an outright change to new software. And then last but not least, not considering, and this is one that gets overlooked often, not considering the long-term viability of your software publisher. You go through your vendor parade, you go through your software demos, you select a vendor. Usually it's based on whoever does the best demo on that day. But we tend to not look deeper than that demo and really understand what is the long-term liability of this publisher that I'm about to have a 5, 10, 15-year, hopefully, relationship with, and how will they keep my investment current and providing ROI over the long haul and not just short-term ROI. So, I mean, that's really it. Those are some of the big topics that we'll talk about in the future. I found that companies that before they start changing software go through a process or one similar to this tend to have the most successful implementations with the biggest impact on their companies and really provide the impact and the ROI that companies expect today. With that, I will close out. There will be more to come with future postings. Again, this is Tom Cofer coming to you from OnPoint Consulting. You can find us, of course, on the web, on Facebook, and on LinkedIn. Thank you.